Nigerians are still coming to terms with the shocking exit of the Super Eagles from the 2014 World Cup. That's not all. Coach Stephen Keshi has also stepped aside from his position as the Super Eagles exit from the World Cup yesterday. France, as we remember, scored twice in the last 11 minutes in Brasilia yesterday to reach the quarterfinals at their expense. The 52-year-old Keshi was appointed coach in 2011 and helped the Eagles become African champions 2 years later. Our team captain Joseph Yobo also retired from international football, allowing their exit. The 33-year-old Fenerbahce player scored a late own goal, much to the chagrin and much sad annoyance of many Nigerians, after Paul Pogba's header had broken Nigerian resistance. Yobo is Nigeria's most capped player with 100 appearances and will continue to play club football after all. He's just resigning from the national team. I'm being joined now by our sports desk correspondent, Cecilia Morogbe, to discuss more on Coach Stephen Keshi's exit, as well as the performance of the Super Eagles at the World Cup in Brazil. Cecilia, great to see you here again on set. You've been following much of the discussions, much of the games at the World Cup. How do you think Nigeria fared when you compare the Super Eagles to the other teams? I know Algeria also crashed out last night.
Yeah, I think the Super Eagles fared better because if you look at the team we actually took to the World Cup, we had some home-based players there. And of course, we didn't really have the best of players, so to speak, going into the World Cup. And if you check the organization of the team, you know, the way they were able to keep the French team at bay. And of course, the game they played against Argentina, against Bosnia and Herzegovina, I think it was a very, very spectacular performance. And even if you had read some comments on the FIFA website and all that, there was a way they actually described the Nigerians that this is one of the teams that actually went home, that they are sad that the team is actually leaving just because of a little mistake, you know, on that game they played against France. They had a very, very fantastic performance at the World Cup.
Yeah, I think it was quite a good performance too, also because they played really well in the first half, keeping, as you said, the French at bay. There were no goals scored in the first half, but then the second half, it seemed that the team was a bit tired running on the field.
I think if you check the time they played that game, it was 1 p.m. Brazilian time, and the sun, of course, actually affected the players a lot. And if you check, the first 40 minutes were really wonderful. And I believe if maybe, just maybe, the goal that MNK scored in the 18th minute of the game, if maybe it was allowed, I think that would have maybe boost their confidence a little bit. But when the goal was disallowed, it was an offside, of course, obviously. So it's actually dampened the players a little bit. And if you check the French side, the truth should be said, they were far better than the Nigerians. You know, check the clubs they're playing, their coach and everything. But that is not the case. When it was now like about 79th minute, I think Vincent Yam actually misjudged that header coming from, of course, Paul Pogba, and that was how the first goal came in the 79th minute. So for Nigeria to have had them up to that moment, it simply means they were really better that day. But somehow, mistake just sets in, and of course, you lose a very, very good game.
Well, I'm curious about this. Do the Super Eagles earn the respect of other teams in Africa?
Yes, of course, they did. Because even the Argentines, you know, when there was actually a comment that people were reacting to the fact that this Argentines are starting, you know, to actually play in their World Cup because of the group they were in. And the coach had to come up to say, look, the teams they played were really good. And the main mention of Nigerian team, that if not for the extra effort that they had, you know, you have a player who can practically change a full game. That's Lionel Messi. That was the player, you know, who changed the whole course, and that was how they were able to defeat Nigeria. So for him to have considered that, to say that Nigerian team were actually one of the toughest team they play, it simply means the Super Eagles went to Brazil and showed their mark.
And the man who helped that team to go to Brazil, Coach Stephen Keshi, stepping aside. What do you think of that?
Well, he did it before at the Nations Cup, remember, of course, and the minister, presidency, everyone had to come in, and he continued. I wish that could happen right now, because we're still waiting for official reports from Nigerian Football Federation to hear what is really happening. But immediately after the game, he actually said, "This is it for me. I need some fresh challenges, and of course, go spend some time with my family." You know, that alone should tell you something, that he's actually, you know, stepping aside.
But sorry to cut in here, but before that, there'd been rumors that Coach Stephen Keshi had said before that he was going to South Africa. That the South African team
he didn't really say
gave him a job offer.
He didn't really say that. No, just rumor. You know, even the South African FA actually denying that. They've not even approached him. But everyone is thinking that might be where he will be coaching in the next few years.
I wish him all the best of luck. Thanks a lot, Cecilia.
Thank you.
And that's it as well on The World Today. Thanks for watching. I am Amarachi Obani. Of course, there's more sports coming up in sports news in just a few minutes.